Okay, so about 2 weeks ago now, a trailer dropped for the new Roadhouse movie. Now, I am a massive Roadhouse fan of the original film starring Patrick Swayze. I've got it right here. There you go. Um, to the point where it's sort of like it's my guilty pleasure slash one of my favourite films of all time, and it's not your basic everyday favourite film of all time. Most people just look at it as a cheesy action film, watch it once and done. But this film I've watched ridiculously. I remember I had it on I recorded it off of Sky Movies Plus, if you remember that, back when Sky was sort of early. I had free movie channels on it at that time. And I recorded it off that years ago on video. And I watched it repeatedly over and over again. But the first time I watched it was because my mum, who, like most women, and my sister as well, around this sort of late 80s, was obsessed with the movie Dirty Dancing. And again, I know that movie off by heart because I think it was on at least once every 3 weeks in my house. I had it on video, and the video actually got worn out. But watched so much. So obviously, my mum liked Patrick Swayze, so she went out and rented another Patrick Swayze movie. This one, thinking it'll be the same as Dirty Dancing. We all sat down to watch it, and I wasn't looking forward to it because even though I appreciate Dirty Dancing more now for the nostalgia side of it, at the time it was just like, oh, not this film again. And when this film came on, I was expecting the same thing, and I was just shocked at how violent it was. The fight scenes were awesome. I mean, at this sort of time, I was into like films like The Karate Kid, and even films like I'd watched No Retreat, No Surrender, Best of the Best, and a couple of the Van Damme films. So I was big into the whole martial arts thing at the time. Ninja Turtles also been a big part of that sort of time. So watching this movie, I was like, this is the best film I've ever seen. There's not fighting everything. So it became like a nostalgic sort of guilty pleasure for me. Now, whenever it's on the telly, I always stop and watch it. Or I get the DVD out every once in a while. If it's on like one of the streaming services, I clock it on there, I'll watch it again. I've watched it probably more than I've watched most other movies, to be honest with you. Probably that and the Goonies and Gremlins are probably up there with the most watched films of all time from me. So yeah, so we found this new trailer's going to drop. Now, I know there was rumour of a remake a few years back starring Ronda Rousey. They were going to sort of gender swap Dalton. But they obviously didn't go through with that. And then found out that it was going to star Conor McGregor, and I was kind of like, no, because I thought he was going to be playing Dalton at first. And then I've then found out a bit later on it was actually Jake Gyllenhaal, and I kind of like Jake Gyllenhaal. He's one of these actors where I remember him in that disaster film. I think it was like not 2012, Day After Tomorrow, whatever it was called. And I liked him in that, and he was very good in the Spider-Man film as Mysterio. And he was also, there was a film I watched a little while ago called Ambulance, and he was phenomenal in that, playing a bit of a crazy character. And so he's got a bit of range from Jake Gyllenhaal, and he's actually quite a good actor. So I'm quite pleased it's going to be him in it. I'm not sure it's going to play in this one because I've not seen him do like fighting action movies, not like a main action star really, or unless he's been in something I haven't seen. But anyway, we're going to give it a whirl. Let's have a watch of the Roadhouse trailer.
Before we start, do you have insurance? What? Your coverage good? Like, you have dental? Oh, haha. Is there a hospital nearby? Is it like too far? About like 25 minutes, I'd say. I just slapped you. Are you alright?
So you like to fight? You ever win?
No one ever wins a fight.
That's a line from the original in the same scene.
This ain't the Holiday Inn, pal.
I'm moving.
A friend of mine suggested
Underground
I talk
cage
to you.
fight.
I own a roadhouse out in the Florida Keys. Lately, it's been attracting the wrong clientele. I can pay you good money. Judging by your car, you need that.
Well, I like my car.
Think about it.
I know who you are. Elwood Dalton, big fan, man.
That guy's got a knife under his shirt. You just take a big step back and pop me in the face. You can do it. Tell me about this fountain.
Yeah, it's all nice, like he's Mr. Rogers or something, but then he'll haul off. Really interesting guy, overall. Grant wants to take a
Wow,
roadhouse
he's
with me.
ripped, isn't he?
He wants to build some resort. I should warn you, people have a certain way of getting things done around here.
Oh, it's kind of. Oh, he's buffed up and all.
Looks like you have
He's put some weight. Whoa!
I got a tip for you. Don't let no one get this close.
Oh, Christ, that looked painful.
Let me guess. You're gonna threaten me. Tell me to get out of town. I can take
perception that he can't be threatened.
Once Knox is on the job, it's over, baby.
It takes a lot to get me angry, but when I am, I just can't let go. People seem a little aggressive around here.
Ooh.
Is that one in front of yours?
No, I just broke his arm.
All right, now, I was going into this looking at this trailer ready to be very disappointed. I'm the complete opposite. That actually looks really, really good. Like, fun good. I wish I had a way to watch this trailer now. Obviously, there's a lot of... Obviously, at the beginning you heard the quote, like, no one ever wins a fight, which happens in the hospital scene in the original. Because Dalton in the original was quite, I think, studied philosophy. So he's got these sort of like philosophical sort of quotes he throws out every so often. But that actually looks really good. I like the fact they've changed kind of the origin of Dalton, because in the original Roadhouse, that one, in the original Roadhouse, he's this legendary bouncer with this like it's kind of mythology that's followed him around, as in like all the other bar people know of him and know of his legendary story and that. And he's then hired by a bloke who owns a bar, and the bar is just like the worst bar, the most violent bar you'll get. There's fights every night. It's just a horrible place. And he hires Dalton to help clean it up and get it back to what it should be, which is a decent bar with friendly people having a good time, instead of people being scared to go in there. And that's generally the gist of the film. And I like that this one, they've changed it a bit, where he's obviously a former UFC cage fighter who must have, in that fight you see at what looks like the beginning of the trailer there, got injured somehow, that he can't fight in the professional leagues anymore. So it looks like he goes underground. Then someone hires him to clean up their bar, or it's a woman this time that hires him to clean up the bar that she owns. So I can see where they're going with it. It does look like quite a good idea. It's a bit different. It's kind of weird because obviously you get the original one, him being hired, because he's this legendary bouncer who does clean up bars. That's his job. He goes around and sorts the bars out. They refer to him as being a cooler, and they're sort of the ones in charge of the sort of bouncers and bar staff. And he fixes the bar up, gets it back running. So this one, it's kind of weird why you'd hire a UFC fighter who has no skill in doing that in the past. He's got no, unless they explain in the film that he was that before he became a UFC fighter, but he's got no skill in how you turn a bar around, so that's kind of weird. There's a character missing though from that trailer. So in the original, you've got Dalton, and then later on you get introduced to a guy named Wade Garrett, who was like Dalton's mentor. Who sort of taught him the bouncer trade, I suppose, and he's considered to be the greatest bouncer to pretty much have ever lived. And he ends up coming to join him at this rough bar and help turn it around, because the town is being sort of like ruled by this nasty businessman who sort of owns a bit of all the town. He sort of gets protection money from him, so it becomes like a war between Dalton and this guy who runs the town. And then Wade obviously comes in to help him, and he becomes the catalyst to the end of the movie where Dalton sort of goes after the villains. Spoiler alert, so basically in the original, Dalton's friend ends up getting murdered by the owner of the sort of like nasty one in the town, sort of the main villain. And then Dalton at the end goes out and sorts them all out. So this version of the film, I couldn't see that character, and all I'm thinking from that trailer, I'm going to watch it again, so I'm going to watch it again, is that the young kid he's kind of mentoring, they sort of reverse it so that the young kid, I think, might get hurt or killed, and that's what will send Dalton off. Let's watch it again, see what's going on. Let's try if I can rewind it back. So we'll go to there.
Is your coverage good? Like, you have dental?
So this is good, the slap bit.
Is there a hospital nearby? Is it like too far? It's about like 25 minutes, I'd say. I just slapped you. Are you alright? What?
I don't know what's with Jake Gyllenhaal's shirts in this film though. He's got his Hawaiian shirts. I know it's sort of set in the Florida Keys, but...
So you like to fight? You ever win?
Yeah, it's exactly
No
the
one ever
original.
wants to fight.
So that's filmed at a UFC event, you can see that.
This ain't the Holiday Inn, pal.
I'm moving.
Yeah, underground cage fight, obviously, because he can't get in UFC anymore for whatever reason.
Roadhouse out in the Florida Keys. Lately, it's been tracking the wrong
See, that looks exactly like the bar from the original with the cages up around the band because the band are getting stuff thrown at them.
Well, I like my car.
Think about it.
And the singer was a blind guy in the original, so I wonder if they do that for this one.
I know who you are. Elwood Dalton.
Yeah, this kid here, I think he's gonna. I think he'll be the one to get hurt.
You just take a big step back and pop me in the face. You can do it.
What?
Tell me about this bouncer.
Yeah, see, he is playing the villain of the film by the looks of it. That guy was then getting shaving.
Really interesting guy overall.
Now, in the original, he's an older man. Brad Wesley, his name was.
He wants to build some resort.
He looks too young to have that much money.
Some way of getting things done around here.
He obviously hires. He's the Jimmy character from the original, which is who Conor McGregor's playing. Oh, it's that head bit.
Don't let no one get this close.
Oh, they must have cut that something to make that happen, because that is nasty looking.
Don't threaten me. Tell me to get out of town. I get the impression that he can't.
Yeah, he's obviously playing the Brad Wesley character, the main villain, but I don't know if it's going to work.
Once Knox is on the job, it's over, baby.
But Conor McGregor looks good as the Jimmy character. It's very different from the Jimmy character, but who was like his fighting rival in the film, the original. Oh.
People seem a little aggressive around here.
Is that one in front of yours?
No, I just broke his arm.
Yeah, because the thing about the original, and I think they've kept it with this as well, which I quite like, is that Dalton was a very likeable character. He was a very fair, nice guy. Like, he was friendly to everyone. He was the complete opposite of what you think this, like, mean, badass bouncer would be. And there was a running gag through the entire movie of, like, everyone saying to him, I thought you'd be bigger, because obviously there's this legend of this bouncer that's amazing. Obviously, we only got back in 1987 or when this was made, 89. There was no... there wasn't any internet, so you couldn't Google someone or look at their Facebook or anything like that. So all that anyone had was this legend of this bouncer, and when he turns up at the bar, he's obviously Patrick Swayze, who's a smaller guy. So they're all like, the running gags, I thought you'd be bigger, and I'd like him to do that in this, because Jake Gyllenhaal isn't the tallest and massivest of guys, so I'd like him to do that. Conor McGregor is basically playing himself, by the looks of it, which will probably work better, and might as well do that. I mean, he's the mouthy, charismatic UFC fighter who could back up his mouth. He was very good. So it's kind of what they've done here. They've got this mouthy guy who is good enough to back it up. And I can't wait to see him and Gyllenhaal have that fight. Just that little teaser sort of the fight they're going to have is great. Because the fight between Dalton and Jimmy, who was kind of the fight rather than the hired henchman in the original, was actually a really good fight in the film. It was the one thing it's quite a dark fight set by a river in the dark. It looks like they're going to do it this time in sunlight, so you'll be able to see more. So I quite like that. They're using a lot more UFC style Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu sort of takedowns as well, where originally was more sort of karate, kickboxing based. But I like it, and I'm pleasantly surprised, very pleasantly surprised, and I'm actually going to. It's on Amazon Prime, which means you're not going to go to the cinema to watch it, which is a shame because I quite like seeing it on the big screen. So I do like filming at the cinema. But I pick and choose these days because the cinema is so expensive now. I do pick and choose my movies. But if it's Amazon Prime, I've got Amazon Prime. I'll put it on there. I'll watch it, and then might do a review afterwards, and I'll do a comparison. Which is better? I don't know. Or I'm gonna say that just because of nostalgia. I can't not say that. I'd like to see what rating it is. Actually, it didn't say what the rating was. I'd like to know what rating it is because this one's obviously an 18. There is some nudity in it, and there's the fight scenes, and it's very violent. But I don't know, it just, to be honest, now if you want nowadays, that would probably be a 15 if it was released now, because they've changed sort of what they accept and that. But yeah, I wonder what rating that is. I hope it's not like a 12A, because then they'd have really watered it down, and that would be all that we see violent wise. But that headbutt looked nasty as hell. But anyway, I hope it's going to be a good film. It's out on when is it out? Did it say when it was out? I think it's like the 22nd of March. I thought I saw there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.